Good morning, everyone. My name is Rob DeVita. I'm the Associate Athletic Director for Marketing and Communications here at Stony Brook University. Today's a very special day as we get the opportunity to introduce our new head football coach, Billy Cosh. This morning, we'll hear from our Director of Athletics, Sean Hilbrun, as well as Coach Cosh. Before we do so, I'd like to welcome the Cosh family to our Stony Brook family. I think I speak for everybody here. We are so excited to have you here on Long Island. We'd also like to thank everyone for attending today and those watching at home on YouTube. From our student body to coaches, faculty and staff, to season ticket holders, members of the media, and our most generous supporters, we thank you. After we hear from Sean and Coach Cosh, we will have Coach Cosh take some photos up front with his family against this backdrop. Following the photo session, Coach Cosh will be made available for one-on-one interviews with members of the media. For media members here today, if you haven't already, please coordinate with our football SID, Nick Curver, to arrange your interview. Directly following today's program, a reception will be held in the Island Federal Arena lobby, and everybody here today is welcome to attend. At this time, I'd like to welcome our Director of Athletics, Sean Hilbrun.
Awesome to see all of you here on this incredibly exciting day for Stony Brook University and Stony Brook Athletics as we introduce Billy Cosh as our next head football coach. President McGinnis, whose leadership we couldn't do anything without, regrets that she is not able to be here today, but had previously scheduled meetings. But I thank her for her support in general, but also throughout this process. When you work in this business, whether as an administrator or as a coach, to do it the right way, it requires sacrifice, and it requires a team effort at home. And I know that Billy would be the first to tell you he wouldn't be standing here without the support of his family. So I'm happy to welcome his wife, Kelsey, and daughter, Charlie, to our Stony Brook family, as well as his parents, Mary and Chris. So welcome to the Stony Brook family and to Long Island. I wouldn't be able to start without thanking our student athletes, the members of our football team, for their trust and belief in me. When I stood before them and outlined how this process was going to go, I asked for their trust, and I asked for their belief, and I assured them that we were going to get the right guy to lead them, and I promised them that we've done that. Every head coaching search I've ever undertaken has been with the best interests of our student athletes at the forefront, and this one was no exception. So I want to thank our young men, and this is really an exciting time, not just for us, but certainly for all of you. As I told our team at the beginning of this process, I'm not looking at this as a rebuild. This is a relaunch. We are not that far removed from our most successful years at the Division I level, and my objective is to get back there and get back there quickly. This is a huge hire. There's no other way to say it. It was one I had to get right. We were fortunate throughout this process to have a number of incredibly qualified, incredibly talented candidates for this job. And throughout this process, I talked to a lot of guys who I have a ton of respect for and really wanted to become the next head coach of Stony Brook University and who genuinely care about the student-athlete experience. So I want to thank all of them. This was not an easy process, but it was one that Billy emerged and separated himself from, and I know in my heart he is the right hire at this time. Now, you could look back and say this all started on September 24th, 2022, when I was standing on the field as our team took on Richmond in Richmond, and I watched their offense go up and down the field like I was watching a video game. And it looked completely different from the offense that I had seen here in 2021 when we beat Richmond. And I asked myself, who's responsible for this? What's going on here? It was high energy, it was up-tempo, quarterback was completing passes. It was an offense that was exciting and put up a lot of points. And obviously Richmond had a tremendous season in 2022. So as I found out who was responsible, I also found out this was the same guy who helped lead the turnaround at VMI and had a really clever offensive mind, very creative in the way he thinks, and so much so, He was hired away quickly to go to Western Michigan, where he took an offense that finished dead last in 2022 to have them finish third in the MAC this past year. Simply put, Billy's delivered results wherever he's been. Just facts. So I knew I had to talk to him when this process started. I had seen what he had done firsthand and knew, again, he was someone I wanted to get to know. But the more I talked to him, the more I realized he was more than just a great coach. He's a man of extremely high character who cares deeply about his family and about the young men he coaches. And the reality is he's been preparing for this his whole life. He's the son of a coach. You know, his dad, Chris, is a longtime successful coach. So Billy's grown up on football fields, in coaches' offices. From Lou Holtz to Bill Snyder, he's been around some of the greats. And he's absorbed a ton of knowledge, but it's helped shape his vision for how he wants to run his own program. And I'd say his own experience as a student athlete has provided countless opportunities for him to learn lessons not only of perseverance, but of how successful programs are built. I have such appreciation for Billy, and you know, as our guys will see, he's a constant learner. He is striving to evolve and grow every single day. John Wooden said, "If I'm through learning, I'm through." And that is exactly the embodiment of Billy in his constant quest to learn. From the first conversation we had, he articulated a very detailed, and I mean detailed, plan for success and was able to answer every question I had with explicit specificity. The questions he asked of me came fast and furious, and as he said, "I'm sorry to crush you with all these questions. Sorry to crush you." But it was fine. I'm glad you did, because it showed a deep level of thinking about how he would approach the job at Stony Brook. And it became very obvious very quickly that no stone would be left unturned. Not only is he incredibly detailed, he's extremely driven, highly intelligent, and very passionate about the game. I'm not sure if I've ever met anyone who has his confidence but also his humility. Ultimately, though, our success under Billy will be about the culture he'll create for our student athletes, which will be about connectedness and care for one another, on and off the field. There will be no excuses made, no shortcuts taken, and no dream too big. We're going to win the right way, and I know we're going to have a ton of fun doing it. As I said previously, this is not, and I stress this, not a rebuild. It's a relaunch, a revitalization, and I'm absolutely certain that we have the right man to lead it. So please join me in welcoming the next head football coach of your Stony Brook Seawolves, Billy Cosh.
Appreciate the introduction there. Thank you so much. Well, 3 words to describe this, and I'm going to say this in order. Humble, thankful, and hungry. That's the best way to describe these things, okay? To be the head coach here at Stony Brook University, what a tremendous just privilege and honor. I'm so thankful. A tremendous institution that provides student-athletes opportunities both academically, socially, and athletically, and they're elite. Elite location, elite academics, athletics, and more importantly, elite people. The CAA is the premier conference in all of FCS football. There's no question about it. With great teams, great coaches throughout the conference. I'm honored to be a part of it again. I have many to thank here. But I first want to thank, like Sean said, my wife Kelsey, and our newborn Charlie. I've been married for 5 years, been together total for about 10 years, and this coaching cycle, this coaching profession is wild. It's a roller coaster, and she's been with it the whole time. She is so tremendous with her support throughout this process. She is unbelievable, and from being a graduate assistant at Concord University, making no money, sleeping on an air mattress, fighting for food and everything, to here, I appreciate you so much, and I love you so much. You are my why, and it makes it so easy every single day to go to work because of you, and I'm thankful for you. My parents, Chris and Mary, as Sean alluded to earlier, I'm so thankful for you guys, just teaching me the right ways to do things. They always taught, in our family, my brother and I, just do things the right way and earn everything you get. That's the way we're going to live, and I firmly believe that in my life, and they've been a great role model, so I'm so thankful for my parents. My mom did a great job of taking care of my brother and I. My dad, obviously with work, he always made time for us, but my mom did a lot for us at the house, getting us to school, moving us, you name it. She did a great job. Mentioned my dad earlier, an idol of mine for sure. How to do it the right way. There's no question about it. Hard work and sacrifice. Great family man, great leader. I want to make him proud. I mean, the ultimate teacher. That's what he is, and that's what I want to be as well, and it's great to have that. Like you said, Lou Holtz, Bill Snyder, Nick Saban, you name it. He's got to work under those guys, and I got to see that. I'm very lucky, and I'm very fortunate and very thankful to have that in my life. I wouldn't be here today without the coaches that I worked for previously. I want to make sure I mention those guys. Garen Justice was at Concord University, took my first job there. Great man at SMU now. Kevin Wilson, head coach at Tulsa. Scott Wackenheim at VMI. What we did there together was tremendous. Russ Huseman at University of Richmond. I love Coach Huseman to death. What a great man, a great coach. And also Lance Taylor. Thank you all for your guidance and support throughout the years. Also like to thank Athletic Director Sean Hilburn for giving me this opportunity, taking a chance on a young coach. I'm so thankful, and I'm so appreciative. Getting to meet Sean throughout the weeks, man, I'm just very impressed how genuine he is as a person. That's the first thing you notice. He cares about people, cares about you as a person. And that's really hard in this profession. I'm just telling you right now, it's hard to find those types of people. So that attracted me there, number one. His vision and my vision aligned. It was parallel there. As we talk through the weeks, and I believe he wants to do what's best for these student athletes, just like I do. It's all about people. I also want to thank President McInnes and the members of the search committee, for trusting me to run this football program the right way. Their support goes beyond for me. I'm so thankful for it. I've met campus partners this week, and all has been welcoming this whole week and been thankful to my family and everybody around. So very thankful for those people. Our vision, all right, moving forward, our vision. Our vision here at Stony Brook is simple. We got three things we want to do. We want to recruit, we want to retain, and we got to develop. In that order, recruit, retain, develop. We're going to recruit young men that fit our culture. They may not fit William & Mary. They may not fit Elon, VMI, all great institutions. They're going to fit us at Stony Brook. Men that are great in the community, unselfish, great students, competitive, and want to be coached at a high level for this university. Geographically, we're in a great area. We're in a great area, competitive area of high school football. We want to do a great job building those relationships with these coaches. That's one thing that's lost now. We're going to do a great job of hustling and making sure we talk to these coaches, do a great job envisioning our program. New York, Long Island, Jersey, PA, the DMV, north of us, there's a lot of good surrounding areas here with great coaches. We got to do a great job of creating those bonds. Our next step is going to be retaining. We got to retain the players that are here, okay? The transfer portal, as you guys all know, is alive and well. There's no question about it, okay? It's going to stay here for a while, okay? We got to do a great job of keeping our own here at Stony Brook. The education, the opportunities post-graduate, and playing Division I football is all here, and we got to keep them here, these players, because that's the way it is. We got to do a great job as coaches recruiting these guys daily and making sure their lives are great. So we got to do a great job retaining here. Developing, which is the most important one, is developing, in my humble opinion, is the most important. We want to develop these young men and make them better in all facets of their life. Impacting is why I got into coaching. Some people forget that way, get into coaching. Things, the money, all that good stuff. It's about impacting. When I was a player, I always remember the coaches that took time to develop me. Well, it's personally, as a player, I wasn't the best player, but I always remember the coaches that took time out of their day to develop you. Guys that were kind of in it for the wrong reasons didn't really follow them. So I want to do a great job of doing that as a head coach. I can guarantee here at Stony Brook, these men will graduate, be great in the community, and become both better fundamentally and schematically in football. There's no question about that. I can guarantee that. Okay? We will develop in the weight room. That's going to be very important. I'm a firm believer in the weight room. Our kids spend more time in the weight room than they do actually in football at times. Okay? And that's going to be our separator. That's going to be our edge. All right? We're going to get in the culture. We're going to get in the rack, get bigger, faster, stronger, create a culture, create a mindset, all in that weight room. Our coaches are going to be involved with that. We got to do a great job when we get back off here from break, get in the weight room, do a great job developing our players. That's going to be so important. And creating the confidence for our players when they're bigger, faster, stronger. They're going to play at a higher level. Moving forward, my first step as a head coach is to gain the trust of those men in that locker room. That's number one. Number one, this is good stuff here, but I want to gain the trust of those players. A speech won't do it, as I'm doing it right now. A Twitter post won't do it, but my habits and actions on a daily basis are going to do that, and I got to do that at a high level. I'm going to love our players. There's no question about it. I'm going to love them. Always respect them. Always respect the players, but I'm going to push them. There's no question about it. If you love a guy and you respect them and they respect you, a lot of things can surface, and you can get that kid better. The standard's going to be the standard. I told the players this earlier. We're going to have 3 goals. Easy. We're going to win the CAA, we're going to win the postseason, and we're going to win a national championship. Now, it may not all come at once. It's going to be a process. There's no question about that. But we can win this league. There's no question about it. When I came to Richmond, we were struggling. We were good on defense. We improved on offense, came together as a team, went to the playoffs, made a good run there. We're going to do the same thing here at a higher level. I'm so excited about that. Our process starts with our work habits and doing things right every single day to achieve those goals. Of those 3 goals, there'll be no excuses. None. It's a results-based business. I firmly understand that. We got to do a great job of creating that standard and creating no excuses in our culture. Next thing, our accountability is going to be at a premium, okay? And it starts with me as a head coach, to our staff, to our players. Everyone is invested with the standard and the accountability. I spoke earlier about relationships. That will extend beyond recruiting. Our campus leaders, our season ticket holders, members of the community, our alumni. It will take everyone. I want everybody involved with this football program, getting excited to come watch us play on Saturdays. There's no question about that. So we'll take everybody there to get that done. Our brand of football is going to be this, all right, here at Stony Brook. It's going to be simple. We want to lead the league in wins. That's it. I want to lead the league in wins. I don't care about passing yards. I don't care about rushing yards. Those are all great. What defensive, whatever, efficiency. Lead the league in wins. Because at the end of the day, it's about wins and losses. We want to lead the league in wins. Complimentary football is going to be at a premium. And we've got to do a great job of preaching that for me as a head coach. Offensively, we're going to play an exciting brand of football like Sean alluded to earlier. Okay, it's going to cater to our players and our personnel. One thing that's definite, you always play with a quarterback, and you always have 5 O-linemen. That leaves you 5 more players. You got to find your best 5, just like basketball. You got to find your best 5. Where it's 2 tight ends, 2 running backs, and a receiver, 4 receivers, 1 back. We're going to play our best players. Simple as that. This system that we run and that I've ran in the past, it's about players. About players and making those guys be successful. We have to do a great job as a staff being creative in our roster management here at the FCS level. We got to find ways to get our guys to do things. I'm going to tell our coaches, I don't care what they can't do. I want to know what they can do. What can they do? How can we help them? That's going to be our jobs as coaches, no question about it. We want to win the turnover battle. There's no question about it. Okay, we've got to win the turnover battle. We've got to protect the football. We're going to value the football as an offensive staff and as players. We're going to talk about the ball and how important that is. And this league, as you guys know, is a lot of parity. A lot of people are similar. And the difference is the details of taking care of the football. We've got to do a great job with that. Got to create explosive plays. Explosive plays is 20 yards or more. If you protect the football and win the explosive play battle, you usually win. There's no question about that, okay? And the last thing is tempo. We're going to play fast. I don't want to hurry up and punt. I don't want to do that, okay? But I do want to play fast and make sure the defense is stressed in different ways, making those guys run sideline to sideline. On defense, we're going to be multiple in what we do, all right? Multiple in our fronts, our coverages. But the biggest thing we got to do on defense is 2 things. We got to run and we got to tackle. If you run and you tackle, you're good on defense. The rest of the stuff will take care of itself. So we got to do a great job with our coaches to our players running and tackling at a high level. We're going to be sound in our schemes. Sound. Good football. Make offenses earn the football down the field. That's going to be very, very important. We're going to run the football. All 11 players are going to swarm to the football. Good things happen when you run the football. No question about it. And then special teams. It's all about energy and focus. I'm going to be involved with special teams. There's no question about it. It is the most important facet of the game. And that's not corny. That's the truth. You got to win the team's battle. You have to. Again, this league, a lot of parity. If we do a great job of winning the vertical field position game and creating short yards for our offense, making their offense drive the field against our defense, it's going to help us win. We got to do a great job putting our best players on special teams and developing those players. I'm so excited about it. Thank you all. I'm so excited to be the head football coach. This is a great place. Again, the people have been tremendous. We got to go to work now. This has been a great day. I'm so excited, but at the end of the day, it's about the work. I'm excited to meet everybody here and get to work. Thank you, and go Sea Wolves.
Thank you, Billy. That'll conclude today's press conference. I want to thank you again for coming out. We'll now hold a photo session up front with Coach Cosh and the members of his family, followed by interviews with members of the media. I want to thank everybody again for attending today's press conference, and go Seawolves.